Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video. I'm going to be talking about some newly shown Transformers figures. And this time we have the Transformers Studio Series line, the new Voyagers and Leader class figures that will be released for the first wave of 2020. So let's get into it. So I've talked about these before because the second these were shown at a panel in the at the convention in Canada, I made a quick video about it. However, the images were just people that took it inside the panel, so they weren't the best images. They were a little bit blurry. But now we have the official images, as well as we have the images of these characters or these figures on display, which makes a big difference, especially for Shockwave. So let's get into it. So first of all, Shockwave here. This is the one that I'm most excited about out of all of these new characters that they're doing. Shockwave, getting a leader class version of him is great, and everything that I said about the figure when I made the first video still stands. I think this is a great new representation of Shockwave. I think proportion-wise it looks almost perfect, I would say. The original Shockwave figure was nice for the time, but I had always disliked the fact how flat he was, and how just like from front on looking at him, he looked fine, but he was definitely not the Shockwave from the movie, proportion wise for sure. He just had a very flat stomach, which just was really odd. And also he needed to be a leader class figure. I think that was pretty evident as well. So here we have him at the right size and the right proportions, which makes a huge difference. What I was concerned about from the pictures that I had talked about earlier is the coloring, because right here in the official images, the coloring looks really bad on this guy. It looks like they used a really bright light purple, and they only used it in some spots, where you just have it like in the ribs, and then the bottom is gray, and then you just have the top of the arms, and the biceps are gray. It was just very sectioned off, and the coloring was just really bad. You got a dull gray mixed in with a bright purple. It just looked terrible. However, when you take a look at him in person at the convention, he looks wonderful. I have no idea why they chose to show the coloring of him from the official images and have it look so odd and so poorly done, because as you can see right here, it is perfect. It really is. The purple that they're using is like a dark metallic purple that has a bit of silverish to it, so it's a bit more mellowed out, and then he has gray with silver details in the rest of him. He looks very well meshed together with those colors as well. It just looks fantastic and really perfect. I think this looks like one of the best figures I've seen the Studio Series produce, and the Studio Series has produced some fantastic figures, so I'm very happy and excited about this. My only concern / don't know what to expect with is his actual size. It's a little hard to tell how big he actually is going to be, just based on this shot here, because he isn't standing next to anybody else. So that does, I don't know how big this leader class figure is, because some of the leader class figures that they did are quite large, such as Grimlock, very large figure. However, some are not, like Blackout, definitely on the smaller end of a leader class figure. And then you have like the new Optimus Prime that came with the whole like kind of battle trailer piece, where the figure was more of a Voyager, but he came with a piece that added some to it. And then this guy, he does come with little accessories. As you can see here, he comes with a brains and wheelie. However, these are way out of proportion from what they actually will be, because although you can only see them right here, they are tiny. They're super small. It looks like they barely have any detail on them. So the official images make these two look a lot better than they are, but they make him look a lot worse, and it's definitely reversed in person. And as you can see, he will come with a little human figure with a parachute, which is unnecessary, but hey, I'll take it. I don't mind having it. It's just definitely not needed, I think. But nonetheless, he looks fantastic. Moving on, we have the other leader class figure being Scavenger or Demolisher. He kind of goes by both names depending on what toy line it's from and the scene in the movie, basically. But overall, he looks quite good. I did mention that I'll be interested to see how they do the wheels, if it's something similar to the way they did them for the Voyager series, or if the wheels are actually tucked inside. Getting a better image here, it almost looks like the wheels are tucked inside. I'm hoping for that. I'd prefer that than the kind of rubber wheels that transformed into the larger wheels versus the treads. So I'd be much happier if that's not the case. Overall, he looks really good though. One thing that's really cool that I can tell now is that it looks like his he'll have some articulated fingers, which is really cool. The original one really just had like scoops for hands. Now here he has the scoops, but they're split up so that it kind of forms more of like actual hands and with actual fingers. It looks like the two on the side are going to be right next to each other, but they will have a hinge that allow them to hinge up, and then the one on the very outside will hinge to the side to break up the hand a little bit. So overall, looking very nice. The in-person pictures kind of suck, I will say. Well, here's kind of just another shot of Shockwave there. But as you can see, here's Demolisher. That's the only one that you can look at with him. However, Demolisher is supposed to be in the same scale, so again, it's hard to tell how big Shockwave's going to be. Alright, there's some crappy pictures of Scavenger here, or Demolisher, whatever you want to call him, so it's hard to say exactly how he looks just from the in-person images, but he looks good. He looks just as good as the official images look, so again, hard to say just with these in-person images, but it looks like the in-person is just about the same as the official images. Then next up we have the Voyager class Megatron. This is going to be from the 2007 original Transformers film. Looking great. I will say that I'm quite impressed with this figure. I mentioned in my previous video that I was really happy with the figure, except for the lower legs, and I still stand by that. From the knees down, he's very bulky in his legs. And it looks like they stick out way too far, which is definitely disappointing. However, I do love the ankle pivot here. It looks like there's some good ankle articulation, which is great. However, in person, as we can see, he is really shiny. Like, this is a great paint job on this guy. He's got a wonderful silver to him rather than just the dull gray, which the official images kind of suggest. Because in person, I mean, that's very shiny. That's definitely more of a silver kind of chrome type of look. And it looks really cool. I have to say, I'm quite happy with it. I think it looks awesome. I also think that he looks better here with the bulky legs. You can still tell he has bulky legs, but since his legs are fully straight and they're not bent, it kind of hides the bulkiness a little bit, which definitely does help. But yeah, overall looking like a fantastic figure. And here's the jet mode, which looks quite good. And then last but not least, we have Mixmaster. I'm a little confused as far as Mixmaster goes, considering on like Hasbro Pulse, they have them all up for pre-order except for Mixmaster for like no reason. Like, I have no idea why Mixmaster isn't a part of the set that's on pre-order. Because he's being shipped with Megatron, and yet they have Megatron up, but not Mixmaster. Overall, seeing Mixmaster here, he looks good. Now, I've been very concerned about how Mixmaster is gonna come out, because he obviously has to transform into Devastator's face, which I think is gonna be very difficult to do. I'll be very curious to see where his face is actually placed on this figure. The only thing I can think of is that this entire like back piece must be like Devastator's face or something, because otherwise I don't really see any other place that it could be. So I'll be interested to see how that looks, how the face looks in general, as well as how they hide it. In person, we don't really get any hints of where it is. I will say that the mixing chuck looks great. I really don't see any problems with that at all. But Mixmaster is like fallen down, and these are literally the best images that I could get of them in person. There's very few images of them in person, and like all the images have Mixmaster fallen down. I think that there's like one shot that's taken from above, so you can kind of see Mixmaster. It's just, it's such a terrible picture. So yeah, getting the in-person looks doesn't really help much. I will say the only thing that's definitely noticeable is that the top section here, there's a lot more black on him than this picture kind of represents. This looks more like a gray, like different shades of gray, but it looks like this is actually more of a black kind of on his head and on the shoulders, which is interesting. When I think of Mixmaster in the movie, I don't really see that, so it is interesting that he does seem to have so much black on him. No word on if he will transform into that last mode, which is the kind of like turret cannon type of a tank that he transforms into briefly in the movie. So who knows if he'll be able to do that. The original Mixmaster from that film, the figure, was able to transform into that alt mode. However, this one also transforms into the face, so I don't think that it will, but you never know. Overall, though, I think these figures look phenomenal. Really, all of them look great. And the only one that I was disappointed with, color-wise at least, was this one, and in person, it couldn't look more perfect. I really hope that the final product is the exact one that's in person here, because it is just a thing of beauty. It's absolutely wonderful. Like I mentioned, these are all on pre-order. Like on Big Bad Toy Store and other websites, you can pre-order them all. However, Disney Pulse, or sorry, not Disney Pulse, thinking Disney Plus, Hasbro Pulse does have them on pre-order individually. However, again, they don't have Mixmaster on pre-order for some weird reason. Now, what's really annoying just for me personally is that when I first these were the only pictures that were out when they went on pre-order, so I said to myself, well, the Shockwave looks like a perfect figure except for the paint, so I'll buy two and repaint one of them myself, because I did repaint one of my Voyager Shockwaves, and it looks really good, so if I did the same thing here, I'd be very happy. However, seeing how perfect it is at the convention, I'm a little disappointed I bought two, you know, because I thought I'd have to repaint it, but clearly I don't have to repaint it now, so I do have two on pre-order. I'm trying to think if I could possibly call them up and kind of say that I pre-ordered the wrong one and that I want two of like Scavenger instead or something, because I do actually plan to get two of him because I want all the Constructicons in robot mode and Devastator mode. So yes, I might do that, but at the moment I do have two Shockwaves on pre-order, and I did order Scavenger as well, one of him, and yeah, Mixmaster, if he goes on pre-order, I'll pre-order two right away, and then as far as Megatron, I haven't pre-ordered yet, but I do plan to as well. So let me know what you guys think of these figures, and thanks so much for watching.